Endless Summer Vacation is here by the one and only Miley Cyrus. Long anticipated Miley Cyrus's follow-up to Plastic Hearts, and this is just going to be like a long-running sensitive subject this entire video, to be honest with you. I might say Plastic Hearts over 100 times. I might need to put a counter on how often I say Plastic Hearts, because Plastic Hearts remains one of my top favorite, yeah, it's easy to just throw the word favorite around, but truly top 3 favorite albums I've ever checked out on this channel for the first time. To be honest, it's part of why I didn't end up checking out any other Miley Cyrus albums on the channels, because I didn't want to take an ounce away from what Plastic Hearts was. I was like gatekeeping it in my own world. I don't know if that even makes any sense. Plastic Hearts, oh, you haven't heard of it? It's this project right here. It's only one of the greatest albums to come out of the year 2020, and only one of the greatest albums that has just been made since. Miley has a special place in my heart too, because this My Plastic Hearts video that I made, and by the way, don't watch it because I just started and the audio is probably terrible. I'm probably just a weird, socially anxious disaster. Yeah, those older videos are rough. It's like watching a really ugly caterpillar and just begging it to turn into a goddamn butterfly already. No shade to caterpillars. I have a really special relationship with Miley though, because like I said, it was one of the first videos I ever did was when Plastic Hearts came out, and I made an album reaction to that album and just was in love with the album, and made a tweet about it, and Miley responded to the tweet and reposted my reaction on her social medias, and it was like I had just started making videos like this, and I just wasn't sure if, you know, I was even gonna keep on doing it, you know, just out of like a self-doubt thing. I just remember thinking, you know, if someone could put so much effort into a project like this, Plastic Hearts, and then show such an appreciation to someone who's listening in real time to the album and being really honest about how they feel about the album, like I was in that video, and then share it with her audience who she made that album for, you know, what I'm doing is got to be the right thing here. So shout out to Miley for that forever. I'll always have a tremendous amount of love for you for that. Okay, before I get in my bag and the tears start flowing, let's get into Endless Summer Vacation, the new project from Miley. As always, full uncut version of my reaction to this album is on my Patreon. Links in the description if you want to support me. And there's a lot of other videos on there as well if you want to check that out. That, like I said, is in the description down below. Also, subscribe and all the other stuff that people say to do. That would be great. I'm trying to hit 100,000 subscribers by tomorrow. Already heard Flowers. I think a lot of people have already heard Flowers. My goodness, did that song explode. So big love to Miley for that. Good for her. She deserves it. The song deserves it. I made a video for that song, and just fell in love with just how catchy it was and how easy it was to just listen to it and relate to it for one, but just feel happy listening to it. And that's the kind of music that we need more of. Music that makes us feel happy. And Miley did that. And I like that it starts the album off. I feel like it makes sense with this Endless Summer Vacation title and theme that we might get here. Maybe a lot of happiness. We'll see. That would be anti-Plastic Hearts. So Jaded is what we're going to listen to first here. It is track 2. And I'm ready, I guess. I'm not, but I don't have a choice.
I don't want to go and talk too long.
Oh.
I know it was wrong, but never said I was sorry.
Wow. Whoa. Yeah, this is like straight out of the Harry Styles vault. Also, by the way, Harry Styles and Miley Cyrus, I feel like I've heard them talk about each other before. What a collaboration that would be, and it would be on this kind of instrumental already. I don't know why, it just gave me super, like, especially the stuff he's been doing lately with Harry's House.
I don't want to go and talk too long. I know it was wrong, but never said I was sorry. Isn't it a shame that it ended like that? Say goodbye forever, but you never run back. We went to hell, but we never came back. I'm sorry that you're jaded.
Oh yeah. Wow. Free that show, that Rolling Stones list don't matter. You know, they're just fodder. They're objects to make us fans talk, and it's what they want, right? Because it brings people back to the articles and gets clicks and attention. But Miley wasn't on the top 200. It was 200, right? Singers list, and I was really upset about that. I know Celine Dion was probably the biggest snub from that, but I personally felt like Miley was a huge snub from that list, and it's already just starting off this song is a perfect example, because Miley's voice is what's making this song. I mean, that whole chorus is just her fully creating the melody vocally. You know, the instrumental is really cool, the guitars are really nice on this track so far, but this is all about Miley's voice here. That huge soaring Jaded and could have taken you places. It's all about her voice. People gotta stop sleeping on her voice. It's gotta stop.
I know where you are, and I'm left in the dark till I'm worried. It hurts me.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Oh, it hurts me. I like that little drop she did right there. Stuff like that. I'm so into stuff like that when she does that. Hold on. Can we get that again? It's just nice. It's little stuff like that. She's got where she can do these huge Jaded notes, but then also got stuff like this in her bag.
Too far, and I know where you are, and I'm left in the dark till I'm worried.
Oh, it hurts me.
And it's a fucking shame that it hit it like that.
Oh.
You broke your own heart, but you never say that. We went to hell, but we never came back. I'm sorry that you're jaded.
You bring more vocals in there.
Taking you places.
The second time around,
You're lonely now and I hate it. I'm sorry that you're jaded.
this is a scream it song. This is one of those you scream along to. You're in the car and like you're screaming and you got your windows up because you can't have them down or else someone might like call the ambulance because they think you're losing your mind. But you have the windows up and people like you at a red light and the person's looking at you like, yo, are they good? They probably pull their phone out and stuff like, haha, look at them. Meanwhile, they have no idea you're literally having the best time of your life or the worst time at the same time because you're experiencing this similar situation where you went to hell and never came back. Like the relationship went to the worst possible place it could have gone, as Miley describes here, and then sings beautifully after that. How dare she? I love it lyrically, and I love the way I want to scream to it.
It won't be easy when somebody news on your body.
Never is.
You're lonely now and I hate it. I'm sorry that you're jaded.
So fucking great. What a great way to start. I mean, Flowers starts it, but you know what a great way to start after the huge single starts the album. You know, because you got to keep that energy. After what's a way to start the album with Flowers, where everyone's gonna know the song and everyone's gonna be like, yeah, this is kind of the anthem to start the year. What's gonna follow it? You got to come in hard with it, and she did that with Jaded. Also, Miley's got this consistent maturity, which I'm sure took quite a while to get to, as it does with all of us. Miley's got this maturity or this mature way of looking at the situation with her former partner, where she just puts them in a good light. She did the same thing on Angels, which is my favorite track off of Plastic Hearts, where angels like you can't fly down here with me. Like she calls them an angel the whole track, and here she says like you're lonely and I hate it. It's not like this whole like tearing them down in this song here. It's just sort of unfortunate that it happened. I could have taken you places. Like it's I coulda. We're focusing on what the could have been. It's not so much like thank God I got out of that. It's just really a lot of regret, probably about things were handled and whatever happened, and the fact that they feel jaded too. Miley feels sorry. I know a lot of us can learn from that. Rose-colored lenses. Speaking of optimism, we have a track name with it right here, track 3.
Sunrise got us up early, so we put on our shade. Somehow the bed sheets are dirty, like sticky sweet lemonade.
Yeah, is that what we call it now?
Lost in Wonderland, with our head above the clouds, falling stupid like we're kids, wearing rose-colored lenses, naked in conversation.
That's fun. Sitting in the bed, just naked, those conversations. Those are some of the best conversations. And I like Miley painting that picture here. It's sort of like, let's just stick here and kind of forget about actual problems with the rose-colored lenses, kind of just seeing things optimistically, but almost to like I believe rose-colored lenses, it's like you're seeing things optimistically, but like almost to a fault where you're ignoring all of the bad, which is a bad thing overall because you don't really gain anything from not learning from your mistakes or from just bad things, which could be happening here. But either way, we're just gonna live in the good time while it's happening.
Summer vacation.
There it is. That's the title, album title.
Till we die. My baby on looks that kill. Make a mess of a nice hotel.
Yeah.
If I had control over you.
How many of us have been on a vacation or a vacation or even a solo vacate, whatever it is, and it's like 2 or 3 days, and you like in the middle of it, all you can think of, and it's happened to all of us. All you can think of is, I never want this to end. That's what the feeling is here.
This forever, lost in wonderland, with our head above the clouds.
Also, shout out to Miley and Sean, our buddies, and that Lost in Wonderland gives me super Shawn Mendes vibes.
Say like this forever.
Hold up. Okay, not on the last. Okay, the last track, Jaded, does not have Kid Harpoon or Tyler Johnson, but Rose-Colored Lenses has Kid Harpoon on it, and I'm pretty sure Kid Harpoon did Harry's House. I think Tyler Johnson was involved as well, and this literally is also giving me Harry's House feels. I didn't want to say it because I just said it on Jaded, and I'm not going to over-mention Harry Styles on a Miley Cyrus album reaction, but now I am because Kid Harpoon's involved, and this sounds like it's from that. Kind of has like a little bit of a daylight feel to it, a little bit of that wavy feel. It just feels like could have been on Harry's House. And I'm so here for that because I thought that project was the best of the year last year, and I'm not going to get into the Grammy stuff because that's a toxic conversation, but yeah, that's a fun thing to have seen here. Next track is 1,000 Miles featuring Vanessa Carlton. Making my way downtown, walking fast, something, I'm homebound. And I need you, and I miss you, and now I want. Okay, well, hold on. Played around too much. This sounds really nice.
Amazing. I'm driving around town in a beat up old Mercedes. You think I'm crazy? You might be right. But when he smiles, I don't care about the past. Just like that.
It happens.
I'm not always right, but still I ain't got time for what went wrong.
Oh my god.
Where I end up, I don't really care.
Wow, this is perfect.
I'm holding on like a rolling stone.
Okay.
1,000 miles from anywhere.
That Rolling Stone line works perfectly with the 1,000 Miles thing. That is, I love that. That's perfect. It's perfect songwriting. It's super country, but at the same time also kind of fits itself along with the sound of the first couple songs while being totally different. I love that. Man, I love this whole start.
Out of my mind, but still I'm holding on like a rolling stone.
So much of her
1,000
voice.
miles from anywhere. I know half of what I'm saying don't make no sense, so don't ask me where I've been. I'm not always right, but
that's
still
so
I ain't
good.
got time for what went wrong. Where I end up, I don't really care. I'm out of my mind, but still I'm holding on like a rolling stone.
This idea, this concept of just not being able to let go. Like, even though, so this is the Mike Will Made It, who I saw she posted about being working with again. Because they worked back in the past together, right? When she was, when some of those songs were really, really going big, from what I remember. And I don't think of like this sound when I think of Mike Will Made It, which is funny enough. Although I don't really know anything about Mike Will Made It, to be honest, aside from a couple other artists he's worked with and that era, Wrecking Ball. This is not what I would have pictured. I'm so happy this exists because this is top tier already. And that whole concept of just not being able to let go, even though you know it's probably best to do so, but you just kind of can't help yourself. Like when this person smiles, you just forget about all that bad stuff, and my goodness, have most of us been there. I like the country feel to it too, man. Don't talk about your roots.
I told myself to close that door. I know half of what I'm saying don't make no sense, so don't ask me where I've been. I'm not always right, but still I ain't got time for what went wrong.
I love that right there, man. When she starts the line, don't ask me because you're not gonna want to hear the answer. Like, you're not gonna want to know who I've been with. I can't really even explain it myself. It just happened, and I like that it feels happy. You know, like we're not looking down at the situation. Miley's not regretting the situation. She's not regretting going back to this place where she probably has been made to feel like she should regret it. Yeah, the song's too light and has this more positive feeling to have the feeling of regret. It's more so just like, hey, it happened, and you know, 1,000 miles like a rolling stone. Like I was out there, we were out there, we were having a good time, and should I have other people might look down at it, but hey, clearly if you hear the way I'm singing it, it was all right with me. In hindsight, looking back, I just enjoyed the positive spin on that because it's a really great way to look at life. Well, why spend all the time regretting when it's more of an endless summer vacation? Should just look at it in a way where it's fucking over now, so I might as well look at it in a positive spin with rose-colored lenses. All right, you is track 5.
Smoke Cuban cigars and get kicked out of bars before 2. But only if it's with you. I wanna drive down to Texas, flip off my exes, get kind of reckless, and have wild sex under the moon. If it's with you.
She did like a little George Strait Drake thing there with the lyrics, the Texas and Exes.
Let's do some damage. I'm not made for no horse-and carriage.
Another Texas reference. Got like that. Cause girl, you're perfect. Yeah, you're worth it. That Weekend. It's got that Weekend thing to it, but she's doing like a rock delivery with it, with just that natural Miley rasp. But also like the way she's approaching it vocally leans itself into a more of a rocker style. But with like that Weekend-ish kind of, she might have even sampled. That's how spot on it feels like. It's mixed in with some other sounds, but it's really jarring to listen to all of those things combined.
Some baggage, let's do some damage. I'm not made for no horse-and carriage.
No, she wasn't.
Late night sweet magic, that forever lasting love.
Ooh.
But only if it's with you. Then I'll pick a fight to make up on the floor of your room. But only if it's with you.
This is nice.
But only if it's with you. I got some baggage. Let's do some damage. I'm not made for no horse-and carriage.
Yeah.
You know I'm savage.
Oh yeah.
But you're looking past it.
This the vocals on this track. This is one of those like grab a drink and just. One of my favorite things about first of all, the vocals on that song were incredible. Probably my favorite vocally of the whole album so far. It's just like classic. It's Miley that I've been hearing the last couple of years. Which I say classic Miley, but that's like when I think of Miley, those are the vocals I think of right there. And those are the ones that, why I say like, how the f do you not have Miley Cyrus on the top 200 list? It makes me like really mad, but it's just a list. It doesn't matter. It was some random ass people who did the list. They have no respect for talent. It's all good. It's all good. It's over now. I love the vocals on that track. One of my favorite things about Miley Cyrus is the way she makes every one of the listeners of her music feel like they can be themselves and be completely unashamed about it. They can indulge in the things that make them happy, and they can be completely unashamed about it, and they should feel completely unjudged about it, whether she's, you know, advocating for, you know, LGBTQ and a lot of her fans obviously who are part of that community and that group, or, you know, whatever it might be. Like in this song, a situation where have the time of your life with the person who makes you the happiest or just fills you with the most emotion, and go do all these things and don't feel bad about it. And there's so many different lyrics in the song You There that she mentions, and some people might listen to that and be a little bit uptight, like, oh, well, that doesn't sound like healthy in a relationship. That doesn't sound like a good time, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't want to be caught doing, I wouldn't want to crash a wedding. I wouldn't want to start a fight just for the making up of it afterwards. Like, that's not healthy, blah, blah, blah. Well, go listen to Michael.Beveraggi and act out your wildest inhibitions through his lyrics, and it's fine. You know, that's good music too. There's nothing wrong with that. But Miley is gonna guide her audience in a different sort of I accept you in every way type of thing, as long as y'all aren't hurting anybody. And I just really appreciate that about Miley. Like, she's just such a generally accepting human being, and it's like really refreshing because it's a real, there's such a real ass person. You can watch an artist and the way they move, and there's a real kind of robotic or kind of, you know, anti themselves sort of thing, or just kind of I don't know who this person is, or if I am getting a gauge on who this person is, maybe I don't really mess with this person. Miley's everything but that. Like, you very much can see who Miley Cyrus is when you see her speak, and you're all in. I mean, speaking for myself anyway, I'm all in on the human being that she is and the person that's so represented when she does speak. So big fan of that. Next track is Handstand.
I see your mother's calling and you're hitting ignore. It's like you saw a unicorn, you don't understand how I'm doing what I'm doing in a fucking handstand.
What? This is like so jarring and different. I know who she made this music for. This song. Okay, I think I just heard more of those lyrics as the song went on. This is for the club. This is for you to just like fucking do whatever you're gonna do in the club that makes you feel nice. And like, not even, you're just outside of yourself and you're having the time of your life and you're sweating and you're moving and everything's a little blurry maybe, but you're still safe. You're only around loved ones. And you're just, although I think about that situation that happened in Colorado, actually, and I didn't even think of that. Now it sucks that I can't just say like you're safe. But this is just a, this is a get your freak on in the club song. And she did that specifically, I feel like, for those people that want to go out and just have a good time and just feel beyond themselves. And shout out to Miley for that, again, just representing everybody. River, track 7. I saw Miley post about River. I'm assuming it was a single.
I got a new dress just to meet you downtown. Can you walk me through the park just to show it all? Pouring down, baby, drown me out.
This album's taking such a turn.
You're just like a river. You're just like a river. You're pouring down, baby, drown me out.
That's cool, that living in an April shower, because May brings flowers in that saying, and then that's the lead single off the album.
Just like a river.
And this brings,
Just like a river.
this is a song about somebody that makes her feel good.
You love me for just like a river.
Yeah, what year are we in? Yo, Miley's getting real sexy on this album. Shout out to Dante D'Angelo, who I used to watch all the time before I started my channel. One of the people that I just thought was really dope at making these kinds of videos. And I just know that this is the kind of song, like, I feel like I'm almost channeling some of the feelings that I know Dante would potentially feel listening to this song when it comes to just your titties getting hard, or, you know, your nipples just an extreme sensation going on in the areolas, because that's kind of what that song did to me. And I think Miley was feeling a lot of similar feelings. Chemistry's track 8. Shout out to Dante too. Yeah. Stay a while. Don't deny the body. Chemistry. Stay a while with me. The switch that this album made at Handstand is pretty. It's a pretty violent switch. It's like a complete 180 this album did. She's making it work though. There's so much incorporation of like 70s and 80s, again, of that electro pop music that I'm feeling from this. And that's like a generation of specifically genre music that I'm not even super familiar with, but I'm still feeling so much of that in here. And I feel like she's doing it complete justice from what I'm hearing here. And I feel like that's hard to pull off, especially when the first half of the album was not that at all. This comes in nicely. I like when that at the end of the line there. This one's nice. I like this one a lot. She kind of layers her voice against the synth, and it's really nice. It's a nice build too. Oh. Hey. Oh my God, the DJs in the clubs are going to have a fucking field day with that right there. Hey. It takes two to make a thing go right. She just completely set it up for that transition there. And again, like the last 3 tracks are gonna, like River especially, but no, Handstand as well. Like these 3 tracks are gonna be just. She's bringing that back, man. Like I feel like Miley's my age, and it's like an age. Well, I can't speak for Miley. I speak for myself. Like I'm not really like for me to go out. It takes a very specific boost of energy. Like I have to boost myself into that kind of mood to just want to just be out. It's just very draining at this point in life. There's so many things I'd rather be doing at home, as lame as that sounds, or just like more low key. Like I'll go out, but like more low key. This is the kind of music that makes me be like, oh, okay, I'll go out, like, and maybe I'll get to hear fucking Handstand, River, or Violet Chemistry, or maybe I can slip the DJ like, you know, at 20 and be like, hey, can you slip Violet Chemistry into your mix tonight? And I'm sure they'll know all about it because this type of music comes out and they get the word. The word gets put out to the good ones, and they know that this is the kind of stuff they got to get in there. She nailed this one. It's one of my favorites already. This is perfect because summer's here. It'll be here soon. All right, so of those 3 sort of, kind of electro pop-ish songs from the last 3 anyway, they're not even straight that though. Like they mix in some other sounds too. That one's probably my favorite of those specifically. Although I did Handstand. I think Handstand. I don't know. I gotta first listen does not fucking count. It just doesn't. I saw Michael Made It also produced on that track. Again, throwing me for a complete loop because he also did 1,000 Miles, was it right? Which just, it's like these are completely different songs. I think I saw Sia was a writer on that as well, which is ironic because we're about to jump into a track featuring Sia. I haven't heard from Sia in a lot. It's like, I mean, it's also just not a world I live in. The last thing I know of Sia is the Zayn Malik collab, Dusk Till Dawn. But again, that's just me not paying attention. All right, Muddy featuring Sia, track 9. By the way, what a vocal like if there is a Miley counterpart vocally, especially like the similarity in sound, Sia's the one. You know, with the way Sia sounds too. I really hope that we get them attempting some similar notes in this, because that would be a delight.
I don't know who the hell you think you're messing with. Get the fuck out of my house with that shit.
Hey.
Get the fuck out of my life with that shit.
Okay, tell them.
I don't know who the hell you think you're messing with. Get the fuck out of my house with that shit.
Okay.
Get the fuck out of my life with that shit.
Straight fucking forward.
And you smell like perfume that I didn't purchase. Now I know why you've been closing the curtains. Get the fuck out of my house.
Damn.
You got it wrong.
Oh shit.
With your muddy feet, I'm about to do somebody. Yeah, I'm about to do somebody. You keep coming round.
With your muddy feet.
I'm about to do somebody.
You're not welcome in the fucking house with your muddy feet. But it represents other shit.
Back and forth, always questioning my questioning.
Yo.
Get the fuck out of my head with that shit. Get the fuck out of my bed. That's my question. Do somebody.
This is dope. Back and forth.
Always questioning my questioning. Get the fuck out of my
Head
head
with that shit.
Get the fuck out of my bed with that shit.
This is super dope.
You watered the weeds and you killed all the roses.
Oh.
Worthy arrives when the other door closes.
Okay. You watered your eyes and you muddied. She said muddied. Did she say muddied? You watered the weeds and you.
And you killed all the roses. Worthy arrives when the other door closes.
You watered the weeds and you've killed all the roses. And that's a pretty powerful line. Again, going back to Flowers. She didn't need this shit. She didn't need to be cheated on. She didn't need to have her head fucked with. Who needs any of that, right? Get the fuck up out of my house. Get the fuck up out of my bed. Get the fuck up out of my head. Get out of just get out. I need you to get out. And I love that she's like, the way she delivers that line, she just gets right to it. And it's perfect because of Flowers. Like, you watered the weeds, so you continue to just play into the more toxic parts of the things that, you know, you invited into our relationship. Those weeds. The weeds are the bad things. You don't want, like, you get rid of the weeds. The weeds are a destroyer of your garden. And this love garden that we have, where Miley's just trying to grow flowers, this person just kept feeding the fucking weeds and killed all the flowers, which are supposed to be representative of, you know, love and good things and the vibes of the relationship. So she moved on and she said, you know, I could buy myself flowers and I don't need these weeds growing out here. So it's just such a clever line. As is all, like, this whole muddy feet thing, because you don't go into someone's house with muddy feet, right? That's the whole thing. You don't get on the bed with muddy feet. You don't put your feet or shoes on the couch or whatever, like, with muddy feet. It's just such a common term and ideal that, like, we all just live by, common sense anyway. But she turned it into a whole, like, muddy feet represent just the shittiness of the things that this person has done and why she needs them to get out. Just get out. Because when you got muddy feet, like, hey, yo, you gotta get out. Those shoes gotta go outside. I'm sure once they get outside, she's closing the door behind them, not letting them back in.
So get the fuck out of my house with that shit.
Oh, this is Sia. That's right. I forgot Sia was on the track. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh man, Miley's vocals, man. I could have used another minute. I feel like I would have liked Sia to get, you know, more. I mean, that ending is so beautiful that it makes me want more. It makes me want Sia to come in with a full on, you know, her own version of Miley's part or whatever. Just incorporate more. That what Miley was doing at the end. You do me wrong. You did it wrong. Whatever that. I don't know what the line she was singing, but it was at the very end. Do more of that. Just like carry it on a little bit longer, because that song is a fucking banger, and it's 2 minutes is like sucks. as a time length for a banger. I want more length in the banger. I get it. I understand. It's a 13-track album. We have plenty of music on here. But that's like not a lot of songs. There's no other song on the album that sounds like that. So it's not like you're repeating yourself in other places on the album. Give me more of it, because it was fucking awesome. I love the energy of that. And I also love when she sings like that. She's really only done that on like You, but I also really appreciate the different styles her voice has taken throughout the course of this album as well. All right, Wildcard track 10. Oh, I'm so giddy because this album is just getting better. You do me wrong. Get the fuck up on my bed with that shit. Get the fuck up on my bed. What the fuck is... What kind of Mario, Zelda...
But don't forget, baby, I'm a wild card.
Oh my gosh, she said so much. Hold on. She just started. She said so much and the song just started. This beat is cool, man. It's so different. It's like the national anthem meets... a Game Boy Pocket video game meets Stomp the Yard.
Won't meet your mom in a dress too tight. Maybe I could stay and not break your heart. But don't forget, baby, I'm a wild card. I love when you hold me, but loving you is never enough.
Wow. Yeah. Oh my god, this is amazing. I really, really like this.
I walk in the door with my lips stained red.
And the tight dress.
Pillows on the floor and the flowers dead. But loving you is never enough.
She is singing right
I'm
here.
a wild card, oh. Loving you is never enough.
Oh, do you hear her voice right there? All right, we gotta hear that voice again. We gotta hear that vocal again. But I gotta touch a little bit, at least, on the lyrics of this song. She's calling herself a wild card. I almost feel like that wild card term was something that was probably thrown at her, and now she just has to live with it and just be like, okay, well, I guess that's what I am because you're calling me that, and I guess I can't change who I am. Like, I wear the tight dress and the lipstick and whatever it is, like, it's just who I am. And, all I want is you to hold me. All I want is your love. Like, it's really, like, I'm good with all that. All of that just isn't enough for you. You need me to fit a very specific description of something that's ideal for you. And that's not... a wild card. Like, you don't want a wild card. You want me to fit a description that is very not a wild card. And that's like real, man. The way she sings wild card, there's so much. I can feel hurt in there. It feels like she was told, like, she's just being herself. Like, I can see this relationship, and I can see her just literally being who she is. And by the way, when you get with somebody, understand who that person is. Ask questions, spend time with them. And you see, this is who this person is. If that's still who that fucking person is, like, a bunch of time later, and you get mad, like, you're upset, you already knew who this fucking person was. It's your own fault. So anyways, Miley's being herself. Whatever it is she's doing, she's being herself. And then this person's just, like, upset and annoyed, and, like, they're like, God, Miley, you're such a wild card. And they say it in, like, a really negative connotation type way. And that would hurt, man, because this person was supposed to accept you for who you were. All she's wanted was love and being held, and, like, that was good for her. So, like, that's a really painful situation to have to be in, and I can hear the pain when she sings it. And yeah, just the way this whole song came together is excellent, and the direction this album's going in is excellent. And I expected nothing less, honestly. And you guys know how I felt about Plastic Hearts, and we're already getting there, and there's still a couple of tracks left. Oh my god, the vocal right there. That wild card, she, like, compresses the vowel and card, kind of viscerally shouting but singing. As you should.
I love when you hold me, but loving you is never enough.
Man, what a great album. All right. That Forever May Never Come line too. Just like this realization that kind of like the writings on the wall shit. Great song. Island, track 11. BJ Burton. So many different producers on this album, man. I love that. Oh. Yo, what? Really like the verse. The chorus might be a grower. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it yet.
The only thing that's missing here is you and our TV.
I like the concept of the song, like lyrically. I like this feeling of isolation's goal or fantasy of yours.
No one here needs nothing from me, and it's kind of nice.
Self-isolation, yeah.
Mama told me, girl, smoke on me if you got 'em. Left my lighter back at home with all my problems. So
I love this build-up. This pre-chorus is so sick.
Am I stranded on an island? Or have I landed?
I don't know, man.
Or have I
Feels like maybe it's missing something. It's cool because I mean, well, you know, I'll talk about the song really quick. It's funny because I said that the chorus was not what I was feeling on the song, and the chorus is a lot of the song. So I don't know about this. There's so much that I do like though. Like I really like those verses, and I really like that pre-chorus. It's really nice. Actually, what part of the specifically was it? Like this is nice. This is nice. Yeah, I don't know. But I do like that she's like found sort of her own paradise that is isolation and just being completely on her own. It's kind of like, man, wow, this is what paradise is. I don't gotta deal with no one's bullshit. I'm not deal with no one's muddy ass feet. Get the fuck out of my house and head in bed. Just completely like isolated from everybody, and it's great. I can't believe how happy I am. But it's funny because then like you, it was all about just being with this one other person. But it just goes to show that you can have different eras of your life where you feel completely different ways, and I really appreciate that. Again, I just really love Miley's ability to just be a fucking human being. My favorite thing about her, along with just the wild voice and the great songwriting. All right, Wonder Woman is track 12.
She lied. Never know she's broken, 'cause she's always fine.
This sounds like In the Arms of an Angel. that song that they used to play. I know the person that sings the song, but I can't remember their name. It's a woman, but it's the song that would always come in the commercial where they would ask you to donate for the kids, and they would like make you feel so bad. It was like the most devastating ad spot ever in the history of any ad.
Never know she's broken. Lived 1,000
lives.
lives.
Hell yeah, Miley has.
Never know she's hopeless.
Fuck, this song might make me cry.
Only when she cries.
No, only no.
When her favorite record's on and she's dancing in the dark.
Oh yeah, this is great.
She can't stop her eyes from welling up.
Oh my god. Lyrically, this is unreal. This is Miley at her most vulnerable. This is Miley Cyrus at her most vulnerable. because Miley's admitting to being a Wonder Woman, but also coming out and saying it's a complex. There's a Wonder Woman complex because Miley still bawls her eyes. She puts on her favorite record and bawls her eyes out, but she still wants to be really strong for everybody else. She's lived a million lives, and just she truly has, right? Like she literally was somebody else on a TV show back in, back in whenever, like a really long time ago. But also, like, she's literally been through so much in so many different eras and in the public eye throughout all of it. In her romantic life as well in the public eye. She's just like been through so much, and yet every time you see Miley Cyrus, I feel like she is just like this beam of light. And it's that Wonder Woman, and it's that strength that she holds in, and I feel like a lot of it is for her fans. And it's all just it's just like this complex she creates. Behind it is someone who is just bawling their eyes out, and that's when they really feel the hopelessness of it. And fuck, Molly, you can't just drop lyrics like that on us. I've been crying a lot lately, like a lot. I don't like something's going on with me, guys. I've been doing a lot of crying. So I don't even know. I feel all of it. I feel the crying emotion, but I don't know what's left inside of me just because of how much crying I've been doing lately.
She makes sure that no one's around to see you fall apart. She is broken only when she cries.
I like that the so much, like a really important aspect of the song is how important music is to Miley, and particularly how music brings out that real side of Miley, that real vulnerable side, that very specific side of her. Because everyone listening to that song's gonna relate. That's why we're here. That's why we listen to music. So many of us that are just addicted to this stuff, this music life, is because of what music makes us feel, how it makes us feel, how it makes us connect with the very specific parts of ourselves that nothing else makes us connect with. And for Miley, it's music that makes her connect with that real emotional side of herself. And that's going to be so many people that just feel that when they listen to that. I certainly do. And I love that she says that, and I love that she gives fans an insight to her on that last track. And I feel like also the last track is the perfect way to close the album. I know that there's a Demo Flowers version that the last track, but for me it's Wonder Woman, just because it really touches on Miley in such a vulnerable way. And I mean, there's a lot of vulnerability across this album, but that's just a different level, in a real personal way. And what a vocal piece too! Like what a vocally elite performance on that song. I couldn't be happier with her closing the album. If she did anything else. Wow, look at the next song that was going to play on Spotify. I swear this was the next song that was going to play. You got the cinema. Fuck yeah. That's perfect because their word, like Kid Harpoon is on this, yes. But not a bit of this did remind me and give me some of that Aries House influence or style. Anyway, again, no pun intended. The style pun is also like one of the most overused, but like just get better, everybody. Love this album, guys. There's a couple of tracks on here that I can't wait to revisit because I feel like I was almost so thrown for a loop with the sound of them, particularly when we got to Handstand and River. Like there's this very specific switch in sound that happened for a little bit of the album, like the middle of it specifically, that really threw me for a loop and that I was not ready for. And I definitely need to go back to those just to re-listen to them and listen to them in the zone of, okay, I know what's coming now. Let's really appreciate this. All that being said, there's overall like a lot of tracks on here that I am already very much obsessed with. I mean, what she did lyrically and from vulnerability standpoint, a vocal standpoint on Wonder Woman and You. I mean, the lyrics on that one and the vocals on that one as well. Probably my two favorite vocal tracks on the album. I thought that Muddy is something that showed me a side of her that I want more of. I want that song to be longer. Violet Chemistry is when I was really that's why I need to go back to 6 and 7, because Violet Chemistry I was feeling so hard, and I think it was because I was fully into that groove already of what track 6 and 7 did to me. 1,000 Miles is a moment on this album, and Jaded might be my favorite song on the whole album. I think it actually is my favorite song on the whole album, because again, it is just straight like scream at the top of your lungs type song, and it's hard to make songs like that where like you really feel like you want to just scream them from beginning to end. It's just a hard thing to do, and she absolutely nailed it. I have what my favorites were in order on the first listen, which literally changes every single time, so just keep that in mind. In order 1 to 12, from favorite to least favorite on the album, that is Endless Summer Vacation. Again, on first listen, it's definitely going to change after multiple listens, but as of right now, my favorite tracks are Jaded at the top, what a fucking perfect song, 1,000 Miles, Wild Card, then Flowers, then You, then Wonder Woman, Muddy Feet, Violet Chemistry, Rose Colored Lenses, Handstand, River, Island. That's the order for now. Like I said, it will definitely change. Again, I can't wait. I'm really excited because Miley is literally to me, she's the definition of artist that you have to listen to in the car, with the kind of music she makes and with the way that her voice is set up, and the just huge appreciation I specifically have for her voice and how the vocal really does translate over to, being in a car and on that stereo specifically. And I'm like a cross country trip coming up, and this is the first album I'm going to be playing on that trip, and yeah, I just can't wait to get into that because she really did the thing. Endless Summer Vacation, it's exactly what this album is going to be. It's going to be an endless summer vacation, and I know we're all going to feel the same way as we're listening to this throughout and beyond the summer. Like, Miley really gave us this endless summer vacation. Not even something I thought about when I first saw the name of the album before I got into the album. I really wasn't thinking about that at all, but now that it's over, I really do feel that. I feel like this album is in itself an endless summer vacation, and she did that damn thing. So shout out to her. She's one of the greatest, and I just really appreciate this exists.